Hello and welcome back to the Pocket Network podcast. I'm your host, Margarita Petrosian, and each week we have real estate professionals on to talk about industry hot topics, common challenges, and so much more. This week I'm excited to have Ed Stulak on. He's a realtor from New Jersey. Thank you so much for agreeing to go on so late, Ed.
Of course, I'm excited to chit chat.
Me too. I'm going to admit just from the start, I definitely stalked your Instagram ahead of the show just so I can have some content, bring up some topics, and you're doing great. So
I hope I didn't embarrass myself too much.
No, you're good. What you're doing is working. So embarrassed or not, you keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you. Excited to talk about it all.
Yes. And so just off the bat, right when I go on your Instagram, the first thing I see in the bio, there's a blue link and it says, I think it said, click here to find out how I got over 180 listings through Instagram.
Yes.
That's amazing. I obviously clicked. And then I found out that you teach your own social media courses.
I do. Okay, Margarita, doing some research. Applause.
Tell us a little more about that.
Yes. So I started a course about 3 years ago, and it was just all about Instagram. It's called IGRE, standing for In the Gram for Real Estate. Just teaching realtors all about really Instagram. I have a whole bonus section in there talking about TikTok, how to grow your Instagram by growing your TikTok, and so on and so forth. But it's teaching all the hacks, teaching all the secrets, teaching all the fancy word algorithms and things like that not your average realtor might know of. So I really wanted to dive into it and be one of those trainers and entities that can really bring out that aspect of social media that not many people talk about. So I wanted to put it all into a course, and here you go, give it to the real estate realm.
Yeah, and assuming, obviously, since you made a whole course dedicated to it, then I'm assuming you believe that without social media, not just Instagram, realtors won't have the success the peak success that they can. That's it.
So yeah, social media is a huge component, huge element that so many people neglect. So I want to be that person that really helps shapeshift, evolve, improve the branding and marketing of real estate.
And is there a specific platform that you think is best for real estate agents specifically?
Instagram. My go-to is always Instagram. Reason being is because I look at it as the digital business card of today's world. This is the one platform that has everything all in one under one umbrella. You have your bios, you have your profile picture, you have your about me, you have your pictures about, your leisure time, your personal time, but your business and your reviews and your sales and this and that. It's like everything under one. You can't really do that on, per se, YouTube or potentially Facebook or Twitter or Snapchat. Like, to a degree, you can, but nothing is as simple as Instagram. You got your profile up top, you scroll, and you learn about the person. It's so much easier. And never have I gone to a networking event where someone says, "Hey, you want to add me on Snapchat?" It's always Instagram. Hey, do you have Instagram? Let's connect on there.
Yeah, so, and you don't carry business cards, do you?
Rarely. If I go show houses, I'll leave one. That's about the only time I'm leaving a business card is at a house when I visit it, or like I give it to my clients. Like, hey, if you go to an open house, make sure you leave a card behind. That's about it. So, but other than that, I tell my tailor to make my suits, and on the inside of my jacket, I have my Instagram username there, and I'm like, hey,
I love it.
I'm flashing everyone like I'm FBI.
Yeah, I was going to say. So this is assuming you're just walking around flashing your suit.
Essentially, yes. I love flashing people. Sounds bad.
Great marketing. Hey, it worked for that guy on Zillow who takes nude photos in the houses that he sells.
Right.
So
crazy.
It could work for you.
Could work for me. That's right.
So another thing, again, Instagram. I'm going to focus very much on Instagram during this podcast just because I see that you found such great success and it's basically your niche, Instagram marketing yourself as a realtor. So something that you had posted on Instagram, it said something like, if you want sales from social media, stop selling.
That's it.
Let's talk about that. What do you mean? So yeah, go ahead.
I'll dive in. There's a quote that I love, and it goes like this. 90% of people sell, 10% of people brand. Those 10% of people who brand end up selling 90% more than those who sell. And that quote just solely tells you that personal branding is something you should totally invest into. It's one of the things that is going to streamline your success in life. If you care to continue chasing business all your life, then by all means, keep selling, keep going out there, keep making those cold calls, keep door knocking, keep doing everything you possibly can to chase that business. Personally, me, I am as, how do I say, lazy as all can be. And because of my laziness is how I look to make my life even easier, which is a great thing. I guess the one pro of being lazy.
Smart.
Say it again.
You call it lazy, but today that's what we call smart.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yes. So my laziness, right, or I guess you can say, makes me trickle into finding easier ways to get things done. So personally, the one pro of this all is that I look for ways to have business chase me. And this is where I focus on my personal brand. Make it so attractive that people reach out to me. They start the conversation. They are the ones that bring up the conversation of real estate. They're the ones that say, hey, how much is my house worth? Or can you help me buy a house? Like, let them say that, because personally, I hate selling. Now, I'm not a salesman. It's not my thing. I will get the job done.
Yeah.
I will negotiate. I will do all that stuff because I'm just good at it now after 6 years of being in this business. But one thing I've realized is when this thing rings and it calls me, and to ask for business to be done, it feels so much better than me trying to shove my services down someone's throat and say, hey, are you looking to buy or sell? Like, what?
Yeah, for sure. No. For sure. That's genius mentality. You're branding yourself and you're creating these lifelong relationships with people. So even if they don't buy from you today, they have you in their mind. And if they continue following you on Instagram, the next thing you know, a year or two from now, who are they going to call if they need help with a sale or with anything else real estate related?
And I call that TOMA, TOMA, top of mind association. If you can constantly be in front of people's eyes, that's how business is going to get done. That's how your brand is going to be constantly remembered. So this is why social media is such a beautiful thing. It's free. It is free. I don't think people understand
you're taking full advantage of the marketing aspect of this. So I know a lot of people do marketing just because they feel like they have to survive in the industry, but it feels like that you fully focused on marketing and you've been doing it so well that you've automated some parts of your marketing so that you don't have to worry too much about it. And business, like you said, is coming to you.
That's it. It comes to you. The reason why I dove into the whole aspect of branding myself. I was just telling you guys before we were off air, like hockey. This little picture of me back here with my buddy from high school days. I played hockey all my life, about 23 years. Every single time I stepped foot on the ice, I was always the tallest guy. I was always the biggest guy. I was always the one scoring goals, and my name was always announced. Okay. And that kind of stuck to me. I mean, I played for a long time. So every time I got on the ice, Ed Stulak, Ed Stulak, Ed Stulak. And then one day I got injured, unfortunately, which I call it my blessing in disguise because I would not be doing what I'm doing today. But my lights dimmed. Ed Stulak was no longer Ed Stulak. I was no longer stepping out on the ice. The highlights dimmed. That killed me. That hurt so much. So I started to look for new ways to get the name out there. And I saw people, the celebrity world, everyone in Hollywood, everyone on the influencer lifestyle, people were chit-chatting about them. People talk about Kylie Jenner. People talk about LeBron James. People talk about Elon Musk. I'm like, how the hell do I become one of those people? But the most cost-efficient way, because I don't have that money, but how do I become the most cost-efficient way as an influencer in some sense or form, you know? So ever since then, I've been like, how do I grow this brand? How do I get that exposure out there? Because I know people love that, love talking about that stuff. So I want people to talk about me. And then essentially, here we are.
It works. You're treating yourself like a business. You're not just working for a business, but you're considering yourself a business. So no matter what broker you go to in the future, no matter what career change you have, people know you for who you are. People are going to recognize your name. So it's perfect. You've been doing something right, and you've been in the industry. You said 6 years now.
6 years, yeah.
People remember your name. So with the content that you're creating, it's not only eye-catching, people can relate to it. And most importantly, it's something that they're going to want to share with their coworkers or other people in the industry, or even family, to show what it's like in the day of a realtor. And to make that funny on top of it, after a long day of work, that's all people want. if you can make them laugh and also relate it back to something useful for their career, that's how you win.
Amen. Love everything you just said. Thank you for saying all of that. That's good.
Yeah. So for your content creation, I wanted to ask you, so are you creating the content for real estate agents only, or are you also thinking of the individual, the home buyer, the customer?
Good question. So my ideal audience are realtors. I want to continue growing a following of real estate professionals because I do have the course. I'm currently writing a book. I have so many things. I'm growing my team nationwide. So I want more realtors to be aware of who at Stulak is. Join my team, Orbis Group here in New Jersey. Join my team nationwide. So I need more realtors to be aware of me as opposed to consumers, buyers, sellers. I want them to. And they notice me that I'm a realtor, and that comes as well. But mostly, I target my content towards real estate professionals. Those are the people that I want. Even them. I mean, I got another $2 million lead off of Instagram the other day, just because some realtor reached out to me, which I've never spoken to, and he said, "Hey, man, love the stuff that you do. By the way, do you work in this area of Jersey? I have a buyer for you." Referrals happen a lot from Instagram. So
Yeah, even just the 180. I know the number is much higher now, but just seeing that number in 5-6 years, that's crazy. So Instagram works. There's a lot of people that still haven't taken advantage of Instagram, or they'll just occasionally post when they've sold something. But it's almost like a secret still somehow.
That's right. So many, I don't know why they neglect it, and that's okay. Listen, less competition for me.
Yeah. It's also pretty hard to keep up with content creation and just keeping up with the ever-changing industry. So it's not just how Instagram is so fast-paced itself, but also in the real estate market, things are changing so quickly. Sometimes one of my producers will send me something and say, "Hey, do you want to share this on Instagram?" And if I lag by literally 12 hours, all of a sudden there's an article with someone saying that maybe that wasn't true. That thing that I was just about to post that I fully edited on Canvas. So now you can't post that. That's yesterday's news.
That's right.
So it's pretty difficult. So are you seeing a shift, I guess, is the question, with the social presence of real estate agents? Are they recognizing the value, or are they looking at the difficult aspects?
No, they're definitely looking at the value of it for sure. A lot of people like to make sure that it works over the few months, years before they hop on themselves. And then once they see results from others, then they hop on. So some people hop on the train before it even takes off. Some people are running towards that train to hopefully catch up. For example, TikTok. A lot of people are still not on TikTok. Every time I do a training, I always ask people, like, "Hey, raise of hands, please show me who's on TikTok." 4 people, maybe. That's a big maybe out of like 50, 70, 80 people. Then I say, "Okay, who's on Instagram?" Like 99% of the people raise their hand. So everyone is on Instagram as opposed to TikTok, though. I was on TikTok 3 years ago, July 2019. I remember because I didn't
even know TikTok was 3 years old.
Yep. July. It was probably a little older than that. Probably maybe like 4, maybe 3.5 years. But I got onto it because I said, let me test it out. It's a new social media app. This is what I do. Of course, I bring the new apps to my to realtors. So let me test it out. And I got on there to see if I'm late to a party, or am I early, or should I even bother wasting my time here? And the 4th time that I posted a video on TikTok, it took me 4 days. Every day I posted once to test it out. The 4th time I posted, I had 10 followers on TikTok, and I got 72,000 views on a video. From what? Like, what did I do? Nothing. So what did that tell me? Bro, you are at a perfect time at this platform. Make sure you stay here, stay consistent, and continue to grow the brand. And tell people about it now, because people are going to be running late.
Yeah.
People are going to be running. So people are still missing the train right now on TikTok.
So I have a question about that. So TikTok, Instagram decided to make something similar when they saw TikTok was so successful. Mm-hmm. And that's the Reels, right? So now that we have Instagram Reels and Facebook, I think they call it Reels as well. Mm-hmm. Do you think TikTok is still as effective?
Yes, big time. The reason why TikTok is as effective, because TikTok is it's not in the pay to play era like Instagram and Facebook are. So if you want exposure and engagement on Instagram and Facebook, you got to pay for it. But on TikTok, it's like, yo, tell all your friends about us because we're the shit here. Like, tell every single person you know. Here's a button so we can allow you and make your life easier to send it to others and share. Here, just click share button and email it or send it to a buddy. TikTok knows people go on there. Instagram got salty a year ago, maybe two maybe years ago, something like that. They got salty knowing that TikTok is taking all their audience members. So IG said, we're going to create something called IG Reels so we can get them back. However, one thing that they are not doing is giving the love that TikTok gives.
So a question about that, because now Instagram has the recommended stuff in your feed, and people got upset with that because some people do use Instagram for personal use, so they don't want random stuff on their feed. So they have that update now where on the top you could choose to view who you're following or your favorites or something like that. So, okay, so with that update, do you see that becoming more similar to TikTok where you don't necessarily have to pay for the exposure? No,
I think that feature was just another feature that Instagram wanted to add. I don't think it's going to do much. I think people are still going to, I personally am disregarding it. I don't even look at it as another feature. So people, I know I'm right. I don't know why. It's just over the years, I've been right. I was right about TikTok. I was right about Clubhouse. I was right about Instagram 10 years ago. Like, I don't know. So like something just tells me that this feature is not going to be as effective as people think it is. So, but that's my opinion. I could be totally wrong.
This feature personally. So I agree with you just because I don't like it.
Yeah, it's nothing like, oh, I have to go and follow all my favorites. Like, well, if I don't favorite your stuff and you could most likely post something super, super valuable tomorrow and I might miss out on it, like, really?
Yeah.
No, like if I'm following you, I want to see your stuff. So
exactly.
It doesn't have to be a favorite. I don't have to like you, but like, let me see that stuff
and
anyway.
It doesn't make sense to have all of the random recommendations on the feed if they're going to have the same stuff on the Explore tab. I'll just explore if I want to.
That's it. Yeah. So I don't think it's going to do much.
So, okay. So now with all of that being said, obviously I can tell that you think that social media is vital. So do you think there's a type of real estate agent or maybe possibly a demographic that they sell to, the type of home that they sell, where social media won't help them?
Could be. Social media is it's too effective to not work. There's always a way to make something work. I have people that come to me from different industries and say, is social media really going to work for me? For example, I'm actually going to Arizona in, I think, 2 weeks to speak at a food industry event. They're all about food, the stoves, like the mechanisms, the equipment, and like those people are still entering the social media realm. Like if I talk about IG Reels to them, they're going to be like, what's that? They are that behind. Okay. They are way behind, but they are still understanding that it is effective. And they're asking me questions like, how do we get out in front of our ideal audience, which is, restaurant owners and franchisee owners and things like that. And I'm thinking, wow, like I've never heard these questions before, but like, this is cool. But there is a way, is my point. So it doesn't matter whatever it is that you might be targeting or is your niche, there's a way. You just really got to explore and make it happen. Can social media be an effective tool for that? Yes, 100%.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because there are some really weird things that you see on social media, weird posts, weird industries that are doing well. So clearly there is something out there for everyone.
Like I was just talking to actually the buddy of mine that is hosting this event for the food equipment out in Arizona. He was talking to me about this, and I was saying that there's one niche that I didn't think was really going to blow off, and that was like a contractor, like a construction worker.
Yeah, I love those videos.
Right? Aren't they cool? little tips, little tricks. How do you get this little thing out? You just got to put your hammer in there and then click on it and blah, blah, blah. Like simple little things.
It's because it's the perfect timing. During COVID, a lot of people decided to do home improvement, whether it's DIY or hiring people to do it. So they're getting a lot of their ideas from Instagram. Like there are certain upgrades that we made to the house, and I didn't do it myself, but I got the inspiration from social media, and I showed someone, and we added that to the house. So I see that this was the perfect timing for their industry to boom, and then also just being able to see the before after, all the trashy homes becoming something that looks literally luxury. And then when you find out this took, let's say, only $1,000, $1,500, whatever it is, it's shocking, and it's just really pleasant to watch.
It really is. I agree.
And with Instagram, they make it pretty cool. The videos don't go over a minute long. So in a minute, you see something that took them 2 weeks to do.
Mm-hmm.
There's that instant gratification that we feed off of.
That's it.
Yeah. Okay. So another thing, I recently learned about the iBuyers, the instant buyers. So is this something new in the industry, or is this something that you have experience with?
iBuyers has been a thing for a little bit. It's very similar to, I guess, crypto buying. Like for example, I don't know anything about it. I've never experienced it. I personally don't plan on experiencing it. It's not my thing. It's not my niche. It's not something I'm interested in at all. However, it's probably happened, and it probably will happen a lot more. iBuyers, it's just very similar. It's been around. People haven't dabbled with it as much. Could be depending on the area that you're located in. You being in Los Angeles, more high-techy, more updated with life, I guess you can say, as opposed to someone in Kansas that doesn't even know what an iPhone is. So I don't think iBuyers are going to be per se succeeding out in a place like Kansas or Wyoming. I don't know. I could be wrong. But here in New Jersey, which I consider us a lot more updated, we don't even do iBuyers, So it all depends on the area.
Yeah, that makes sense. I heard from someone in LA that it's becoming, recently they've seen it happening more. So I guess since you haven't seen it as much, then you wouldn't be the right person to ask how this is affecting real estate agents. Or maybe you're doing your job so well that it's not affecting you at all. So it could be both ways. It
could be. But to be honest, even if that happens to come, let it come. The one thing that I know will not deplete is the concept of emotional buying. A buyer is someone that is going to be attached to the whole process. It's a huge investment of theirs, number one. Number two, I don't think they can do it themselves. Like some people that have experience, different story. I'm not talking about the investors. I'm not talking about those people that have done it 15 times in their lifetime. No, I'm talking about the first-time home buyer that just got married 5 months ago, has a dog, is thinking about getting married, getting a kid, is thinking about things like that. Those people don't know. They need their hand held. And to be honest, I don't think that they are a person that is going to go through the whole iBuying process, or I can do this thing myself. They need a handheld. They need someone that is emotionally there for them. They need a therapist that is going to help them buy a house. I don't consider myself just a realtor. You should have heard the phone call that I was on 2 hours ago. My seller was freaking out from, you have no idea, about the stupidest little thing. An inspection report that was asking for like a GFCI to be replaced and something in the corroded pipe upstairs, which I'm like, listen, why are you freaking out? Like, this is going to cost no more than $300, I think. So like, just offer the $300 and we're good. Oh boy, it was not that simple. My point here is like, if I wasn't on that call for 58 minutes with her, trying to calm her down from a $300 investment, that.
Hey, therapists charge more than $300 an hour sometimes, so I think she got a deal.
It's crazy, but I don't think someone can go through this process by themselves unless they've done it so many times. So this is why I just don't think we're gonna disappear anytime soon.
Yeah. It makes sense. And what you said is definitely true. Even if it's not the first time you're buying a home, for normal people who have normal jobs, each house that they buy, whether it's going to be an investment for them, whether it's going to be just a bigger home that they're going to move into for their family, it definitely is not only emotional, but a huge investment, money that they don't have sitting around that they're going to have to work towards. So I agree with you. And okay, so that being said, how do you think an agent can differentiate themselves so that these people who put so much value in the process of buying a home feel more comfortable choosing you as an agent?
Comes down to the brand. It's always about the brand. Look at my reviews, look at my track record, look at my past sales, look at how happy everyone has been so far using me. Do you want to be another one, or do you want to find someone else? That's totally fine if you do, go. But if you want that experience, if you want me, let's do it. It's the brand. It really comes down to that.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. If they associate you with success and happy customers, then they'll want to do the same thing to repeat that emotion. So with reviews, do you ask your clients to post reviews? Does it happen organically? How important do you think that is? Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I would say organically it definitely comes. Like I just closed a house yesterday, and so I sent a link to my client. I was like, hey, please fill this out for me when you get a chance. This was an investment client of mine, so I kind of just threw it at him. I'm like, hey, write me another review, please. Okay. So, but
and you make a habit of doing that after each closing.
I do my best. Like I try to do it a little before closing, if at all possible, just because once the buyer or seller are in the process, like they're kind of still in the process. So if I send them something like, hey, can you please fill this out before closing? They'll like kind of consider it like another task to do before closing. Yeah. Once closing happens, they're done. They're like, we're out, And then if I send them like, hey, can you do me a favor? I've had it happen too many times where people were like, yeah, sure. Never heard from them again. I'm like, what? Like, why?
Yeah. For those reviews, another question. Do you post I guess you can call it testimonials on Instagram? Do you think that's effective? I
used to. Yes, it's definitely effective. It's just not something that I want to throw out there and tell people how amazing I am, because they'll know for themselves. I don't have to go and tell people, look what people told me. No.
Hey, it's working for even lawyers. Recently, I saw something on TikTok where a lawyer will stand outside the courthouse with the client, and he'll literally tell you what the charges were, and what the client avoided. So he's like, he was going to be in jail for 3 years, and I got him out. I got him a 1-year deal, and he'll be out in, let's say, 10 months. So if it's working for lawyers, I don't see why it won't work for real estate agents. It
definitely works. Don't get me wrong, and I encourage people to do it 100%. If you're a realtor, portray them. Push your reviews out there. Tell the people what people tell or what people say about you. So. Yeah.
And just speaking on that, so definitely, I think it should also be said, if you're a real estate agent that does that, you should be consistent. So I don't want to just see one post, then I'm going to think you only have one happy client. So everything should be a habit. Make it consistent, put it out there so people, if they see that post, that's what interests them, and they go on your page, they see more of what brought them to your page.
That's it.
So more habits. Let's talk about more habits. What other habits do you recommend or have you seen in yourself that you attribute your success to?
Posting consistently of the same concept, posting the same type of content. So the ones that I stick to are education and entertainment. I always make sure that I'm educating, but I'm also entertaining. When I entertain, I'm on TikTok. On TikTok, I'm this humor. I portray relevance. I portray real estate humor. That's just really what my TikTok's all about. That's where realtors get their haha. That's where they say, who is this guy? Let me look him up. They go onto my Instagram and they see this professional person who's still funny, but educational now and serious. And now I'm learning everything about this guy. So on Instagram, I like to make sure that I'm throwing out entertainment, but also education. So the way I do that is posting a video, for example, of me dancing and I'm shaking my butt or something like that. And I'm pointing and I'm teaching and I'm like, hey, look at this. And hey, here's 2 tips on this and 3 tricks for that. So I like to intertwine all that stuff, but I'm very consistent with it. Because God forbid, if I ever change that up, people are going to be like, I didn't come for this. Where's the old stuff? So that's the type of content I'm always pushing out there.
It makes sense. It's like you're putting out different personas depending on the environment, same as we do when we're at work versus with our friends versus with the parents, different environments.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to know your audience. So again, another marketing tip.
Definitely know your audience. Know what's up. The way I say about TikTok and Instagram is, or all the YouTube, all the social media apps. You don't go to YouTube to get your quick dose of humor or something of that sort. You can, definitely you can, 100% you can. But if I want to scroll fast, I'm going on TikTok, maybe IG Reels right now. If I want to learn how to cook a filet mignon, I'm going on YouTube. That's just what YouTube is for, right? I'm not going on TikTok
with YouTube
for that.
Shorts, what do you think of YouTube Shorts? They have that quick content now.
They have it because they want to be relevant. And personally, I don't see any success with YouTube Shorts. Not because I didn't try it out. It's not that I even would try it out. It's none of that. It's personally, I just don't see YouTube Shorts actually going the way that they thought it would.
Okay.
TikTok is king. IG Reels comes second. That's how I look at it.
Okay, so TikTok, Instagram, and then what's next?
Facebook Reels.
Facebook? Mm-hmm. So that's where these people should be. How about Facebook groups? What do you think of that?
Sure. Yeah, you can create Facebook groups. Just make sure that they're valuable, make sure that they're not salesy, and then, yes, they should definitely succeed. I would throw YouTube in that list, too. YouTube is a huge social media platform that will be here for a long time. The shelf life is going to be very, very long. So get on YouTube if you're not there.
With YouTube, though, do you think that any agent can be successful, or is it more someone who has a talent of teaching something or has knowledge to give?
No.
So think of a new real estate agent. What can they do on YouTube to be successful?
Talk about your local area. Talk about all the stuff that you sell in the area. So if you're a realtor out in Tampa, Florida, for example, talk everything Tampa. The cafes, the bars, the restaurants, the libraries, this, that, the real estate. Obviously, tie that all into it at the end of the day, but become like the spokesperson for that area. And eventually, people are just going to be typing in the reasons why not to move to Tampa, Florida, and boom, there's another video that you posted. Here's 5 reasons why not to move to Tampa. The water sucks. The pizza sucks. This sucks. Like, and make it funny, right? And people are like, wow, that person knows a lot. Let me see what else they have.
That's great advice. I didn't think of that.
Oh, yeah.
And that's something simple that anyone can do. You don't really have to know too much about real estate or have experience.
That's it.
Okay, so let's focus more on that for advice for new agents. So hypothetical situation, obviously, this can't actually happen in real life, if only. Imagine if you could restart your career today. What would you do in the first 24 hours?
First 24 hours, I am definitely going to be reaching out to all my sphere of influence. Everyone that I know that's in this phone. Let's see. If I go to my contacts right now, can I see how many people I have? I have just around 4,139 contacts. That's a lot of people that I've built up over the years. It's a huge database. I definitely would not have enough time to reach out to all of them in 24 hours. So that is my first 24 hours.
So you put a lot of value in networking.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So okay, so let's go off that. Networking for some people could be difficult because some people just they don't know how to approach the person, especially if it's live face to face. So if you, let's just say every new realtor had one perfect person, one role model who they thought could guide them through and make them successful. So what would you say is the best way to approach this person?
The role model?
Yes. Because I'm sure, for example, you have a ton of Instagram followers. I'm sure you get a lot of messages, people asking for help. But what's going to stand out? How can someone approach you so that not only do they add value to you, but they catch your attention and you want to help them?
Cool. It's by providing value. For the longest time in my beginning early stages, I reached out to everyone that I wanted to work with, and I just offered them my help. What can I do for you? I'm not asking for money. Don't give me money. I don't want money. Keep your money. Give me experience. And I didn't even ask for experience. I just said, what can I do for you? That's simple as that. And then they said, oh, nothing, man, just stay in touch. No problem. 4 days later, hey, I see that you suck at this thing here. Like, I think you need help with that. Can I help you with this? Like, I'll do it for you. Don't worry. What are they going to say? No, Ed, don't manage my social media for free. Okay, gotcha.
You've offered to do that. That takes a lot of time.
Tons. I worked with many, many people in the beginning. I offered so much help. I did not start off in real estate. I started off in social media 10 years ago. Instagram was born. I got right on in 2012. And right from there, I just started growing my following. I grew up to 8,100 followers that were all just local people and friends, family, hockey players from high school, college days, just people that I personally knew. But then I started really pushing off once I got into real estate and I identified my audience. But from there, I just started growing. But before the 8,100, let's talk that real quick. This is what we're talking about here. I reached out to a lot of people to offer my help. And then I had my first, I guess you can consider them a client that I wasn't paid on, were these two DJs. I was a tour manager for a little bit. I became their tour manager, their social media manager. I was there doing their content creation, posting for them, creating their logos, marketing, branding. I didn't get paid anything. It was all out of my pocket, but I learned so much, which helped me get to the next person's hand that I shook, which helped me get to New York City. And I was working with Kevin Jonas from Jonas Brothers. Like, that was a lot of steps to get to that type of person. And now I can add that. Say it again?
You couldn't have met him before.
That's right. So like, it's just one hand shaking the next. This person knows that person. This person knows that. It just went that way. And I knew it had to go that way because people liked what I did for them. So why would they not want to introduce me to the next person? They're happy with me. Again, the brand was built. People were talking about me, so that's kind of but yeah, there's definitely just offering help if you can.
Yeah, there's something to be said about being genuine. People feel that you're not just there for the paycheck, even though that's very important. But if someone realizes not only do you love your job, but you're there to really learn, first of all, they're not going to be embarrassed to refer you to someone, because I can refer a lot of people to businessmen or realtors that I know, whether it's to do business with them or whatever it is. But if I don't know you, if I feel like you're just there for the money, you're going to embarrass me. That's my name. I'm the middleman.
That's right.
Yeah, so I definitely see the value of just offering your help. And another thing just that I would have to add to that is you also have to recognize who you're offering this free service to. A lot of people will take advantage of it and they're never going to help you.
Of course.
It's really important to also read these people. You have to know who's in their network. You can't just go up to a random teacher off the street and decide to help them. Most likely, they don't really have any people in their phone book that are going to help your career.
Of course. That's right. You got to calculate your risks. That's all.
So how do you set these goals for yourself? Do you do similar things now?
In a sense, but right now it's just I know what I'm doing, and I've been doing it so consistently every single day that is just happening now. So some people call it manifesting. I just call it worked my ass off for the past 10 years, and it's finally happening. So people are like, oh, wow, you have, a nice following online. Like, that must be so awesome. Like, to me, it's like, yeah, it's about damn time. Like, I've been doing this stuff for 10 years. So it's like, finally, it's here. I'm so happy that it's happening. So it's taken some time, but nonetheless, I'm still reaching out to the people that I can offer help to. Like, for example, I got a project over in Somerville, New Jersey, and to get that project, because I was up against two other realtors, but to get that project, I discounted myself. So I offered so much more than those other realtors would just to get the project, just to get my name out there, just to make that happen. And now I'm getting exactly what it is that I thought I would be. I've been in it for a year and a half of this project. So it's a big apartment complex, big building. And so now I get to represent this huge, massive building, hundreds of units. And now I can attach that to my name. Now other developers are reaching out to me and saying, hey, we see what you're doing over there. Can we talk? That's what I was looking for. So like,
it's all strategy.
I calculated my risk. I said, if I discount myself now, I know later on I will get exactly what it is that I want. I will get my money back. Like, I'm not worried about the money. So
yeah. Yeah, that's definitely the benefits of the long-term investments. So long-term, you know that that's going to be more rewarding than a quick paycheck on the spot.
Definitely.
So other than money, obviously, an important question for you. How do you quantify your success today?
How do I quantify it? Elaborate.
So obviously, if you're making more money, you're clearly more successful. So just forget about the money. Anything else that's happening in your life where you look at that and you say, okay, it's all working out now.
Cool. Okay. So in terms of that aspect, just things like I'm writing a book. That's pretty cool. I never really did that before. Don't know what the process was. Kind of just dove right into it. So that's cool. I'm starting to write a book, becoming an author. I have my course, I have my teachings, I have everything that's happening. So it's showing that it's working. Getting on podcasts at 10 o'clock at night or from across the country, like that's pretty cool. It's starting to work. The exposure is out there, but also the team is growing. My real estate team is now growing out in Nevada, Arizona. I'm working on LA actually as we speak. Kansas and New Jersey and New York actually now. So like things are happening. The team is starting to really grow. People are wanting to join on board. So I like that aspect. There's so many things that are showing me that what I'm doing is working. It's taking time, but it works.
Yeah, that's amazing. Honestly, just the amount of people that you have nationally, I feel like the next step is going international for you.
You know what? I'm glad that you said that. And I did actually go to international already. I spoke in a college in Slovakia.
Oh, so wow.
I spoke to.
Are you from Slovakia? How did that happen?
Yeah. So actually from just from family, friends, knowing each other and things of that sort.
That is pretty cool.
Going out there and this one of my friends, she goes to this college and she works for them like in the marketing department. So she told them about me, that I'm coming and I could teach about social media. They're all tech geeks. They're all like into this. They love this topic. So I went there and I spoke in front of, I want to say 60 or 70 students. And I even had 2 followers of mine come out from Hungary. Big shout out to them. They traveled 6 hours to come and see me speak for an hour. And then we grabbed lunch. I bought them lunch. I was like, you guys are awesome for coming out here. Like that was so cool. So, I already got that in my resume as well. But things like that shows me that it works. I went international. Like that was cool. So I'm hoping for more stuff.
It just shows you that social media really has no bounds. So within literally seconds, you can globalize your brand.
You really, really, really can.
And you actually got to see that firsthand, but just imagine the print that you're leaving globally. So you got to see that because people in Slovakia, but I'm sure there's other countries or people in other countries who haven't thought to reach out because they wouldn't think that you would go.
Right.
So the results of Instagram are literally endless.
It's an amazing thing. It's really because of Instagram, I am where I am today. It started on IG. I love it. I owe so much of my success to IG. So
I completely agree with you. I pretty much don't see any negative or cons to Instagram. I'd really like to meet a real estate agent who is on the opposite side of the spectrum, who's actually successful. I wonder if we can get that.
Oh, so there are many realtors that are very successful today that don't use social media. It's not their thing, and that's okay. Right now their focus is constantly cold calling and repeat business, going back to their referrals, going back to their past clients. So, and that works for them. I know a lady that still has a notepad. That is her CRM. She doesn't have anything online and she is crushing it. She's doing very well. She's selling way over 50 houses a year.
Imagine what she could do if she automated everything. The time you save. That is crazy. Wow. Yeah. Maybe you should tell her, hey, I'll be your assistant for a week. Let me show you what you could do and then onboard my team.
Yes. It's things like that. See, for example, myself, like I'm working on my thing now, so I don't have time for a person like her. However, someone that is coming into this business and knows her and sees where she's struggling and can pinpoint those issues. Here you go. Here's a solution. Let me help you create that solution. Let me help you 3x your business next year with use of social media. Everything you're doing, keep doing. I'm going to go ahead and add this new tool to your tool belt and help you get more business. Does that work for you? Why the hell would she say no? Give me one reason why would she say no. Like,
honestly,
no,
even if you don't want to grow your business, just think about the amount of time you would save. And now you have time to do whatever you want. Travel, sleep,
That's right.
Most importantly. This is blowing my mind. I'm glad she's successful, but I'm imagining the amount of work she puts into it. And I have to give her credit for that. But whew, people don't sleep enough nowadays.
No.
Okay, so now if you were like her, scratch that. Let me rephrase. Instagram's your number one, or social media is your number one. What's your number two marketing tool?
Number two marketing tool. I would just rely on the offline marketing, just doing the fundamental, conventional routes of real estate, the cold calling, the door knocking, doing the open houses, talking, flyers, things like that. That still works. I do. Absolutely. I do. Okay. I do all that stuff. I still cold call. I still door knock. I still do all that stuff, but it's not my priority. It's not like I put it on my to-do list to do every single day. It's not the way I operate. Right now, I had an open house. This was about maybe 9 months ago. I had an open house and went door knocking all around the neighborhood. Hey, I'm doing an open house for your neighbor over there, 3 Tara Drive. We're going to be listing it or we're going to be selling it very soon. We already have some offers, this and that, but we're having an open house on Sunday. You should stop on by. And I did that for about 14 houses. And one lady came out. She said, "Oh, that's so sweet of you." And this old lady, sweet lady, "Oh, that's so sweet of you." And she comes out and then we start talking for a little bit. This is the third house I hit, by the way. Like, I just door knocked twice. Third time is her. She comes out. She's like, "Oh, it's so sweet of you." And then she starts going into her background. "Oh, my husband passed away 10 years ago. I still feel like it was yesterday." So I had to take off my sales hat. Like, this is therapist right now. Let's go into therapy. So I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." We hit it off. 5-10 minutes later, she's like, "Do you want to come inside and see the house? Like, I'm going to probably be listing it over the next few years." Like, hell yeah. I went inside, saw the house. My point is this was the offline, right? I went door knocking. Every maybe quarter now, maybe every 2-3 months, I bring her a jar of local honey. Okay?
That's cute.
Every time I come to her.
List your house with the honey guy.
The honey guy. Every time I come to her, I'm like, "Hey, I figured you ran out." And she's like, "It's honey for my honey." I'm like, "That's what I'm talking about."
Hey, you should take your business cards to her. Then she can give it to everyone she knows.
Always.
I'm assuming she's not on Instagram, but
she's not on Instagram. Not at all. I don't think she knows what Instagram is, but that's okay because I connected with her in a different way. Yeah. So the offline marketing, that side of things works. She has one business card of mine, but she has 5 jars of honey. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. It's really amazing with real estate. You get to meet such an amazing diverse array of people, and also just a lot of people that you typically wouldn't bump into in your daily life. So I've heard so many great stories from realtors, people that they've met who've become such a big part of their life, or they've really touched someone else's life. Like, I'm sure you might think it's just a jar of honey, but maybe she doesn't have any other visitors. So you're now a big part of her life every 2 to 3 months.
That's right.
Are there any other stories now, other side of the extreme, not like her, who's all cute and nice little lady? Is there any crazy stories you have, whether it's crazy people or a crazy listing that you thought was unsellable?
Yes. So this goes back to this big apartment complex that I had. And so one morning, I'm actually so busy at this point. All right. This was a time where I was missing appointments because I wasn't scheduling properly because I had that much going on and it was bad. So I'm like, okay, time to hire an assistant. So I was hiring an assistant morning of. It was 9 a.m. because I remember meeting her at 8:30. 9 a.m. I'm shaking her hand. "Congratulations. You're going to be my assistant now." 9:03, I'm getting a call saying, "Hey, are we still moving forward with my lease and all that stuff?" And I'm like, "Yeah, why? What's up?" She's like, did you not see? I'm like, no, what's up? She's like, the building is on fire.
Oh my God.
I'm like, oh, I'll call you right back.
That's probably a problem.
So I'm calling my management. And I'm like, hey, what's up? He's like, Ed, I'll call you later. Bye. I'm like, okay, I think something's going on. So I was about an hour away. Okay. So I was like, okay, I'm going to probably get in my car and see what's up.
Quickly go buy a hose.
Yeah, I'm not even, I don't even know, maybe 10 minutes away from the property, and I see smoke in the air.
Oh my God.
It was, I was still a little bit away. It was 10 minutes away, and I saw a big black cloud. And I'm thinking, please, for the love of God, do not tell me this is my property. I thought it was going to be like a little bushfire.
Yeah.
I got to the property. It was the whole roof was on fire. And I was in this, I don't know what I was feeling that day. That was crazy. And I remember it was a Friday because I know that management was off on the weekends, and I knew that they were giving me full responsibility. They were calling me. They were like, Ed, TV coverage was there. 6 different fire departments from different areas were around. It was a mess.
Was everyone okay?
Everyone was fine. Luckily, God bless. But the building.
So after you found out everyone was okay, did you jump in front of the TV crew and say, hey, my name is Ed and this is my building?
I didn't even want to. I was in my suit, and people just knew that I was probably in charge there because I was the only one that was like just standing with my suit.
Okay, you should have at least flashed your suit so they could follow you.
TV coverage was calling me, Fox News, ABC, everyone was just calling my name, my phone, and I didn't know what to do. I was like, yeah, we're gonna figure this out. I had to get my PR agent involved. I was like, how do I say? What do I talk about? I don't know what to. I had management calling me on the other line. Like that was.
It's not your fault, and you don't want it to backfire by just going on TV and saying something that people interpret in the wrong way.
That's right. That's right. So it was a big day in my books. I will say that. Craziest story by far.
So with that TV coverage, after you consulted with your PR person, did you see any outcome from that? Any benefits?
Not too much benefits. A lot of people started talking about us, but of course not for the best. So it was a little rough, but people on social media, they all reached out to me saying, Ed, we heard about it. It's on TV. It's on the news. We're seeing this. Like, are you okay? A lot of people reached out for sure. So it got the exposure, but of course not in the way we wanted it to per se.
Yeah. Hey, so technically the property itself wasn't unsellable. It was just that one traumatic event.
It was that one traumatic event that we had to knock it all down, start over, and we just opened up the building.
Knocked down the building?
The whole thing. We had to knock it down completely. God. Oh, yeah. 4 stories high.
Just a roof fire that was put out.
The whole thing. Because imagine all the firefighters had to put water on it. It drenched the whole building. So mold was everywhere. So we knocked it down about a year ago, and we just opened doors again because we had to build it from scratch. 4 floors high, had the basement and all that stuff. 92 units in there. And so we had to rebuild it, but we just opened doors 2-3 months ago. So,
well, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
That was a long time coming.
Long time coming.
It just shows that one of the things that a real estate agent has to have is patience, whether it's with a client or with timelines.
That's right.
And then, okay, so going back to your social media, since, you're literally the social media expert. You're one of the top realtors on social media that I've seen. And I don't really follow realtors or anyone. I just literally follow people that go on the podcast, and then I learn from them slowly. Cool. So that being said, I think you posted about 2 books in the past week. Mm-hmm. So I'm assuming you see the value in reading books. How the heck do you find time to do that, first of all?
So I actually don't read books. I have stopped reading books about 5 years ago. Okay. Not because there's no particular reason. I said, no, I hate books. It's nothing of that sort. Not at all. I learned and I read so many books in my first few years. When I was in the music industry for a little bit, when I was working in New York City with Kevin Jonas and all, I was reading so many books then because I was all theory. And I learned so much, and I realized that eventually this all has to be implemented. Everything that I've learned. So let me stop reading now because I'm full with knowledge. Let me push it out there now until I need more knowledge. So now I don't find myself reading because I learned so much from all those books. Like now I'm just implementing it. That's
Yeah.
where I see a lot of people go wrong, is they'll read too much theory, and they never actually execute anything. But look how many books I've read.
Right. Yeah.
Show me what you've learned so far. So I've been doing the showing part for the past 5 years, so I haven't read too much. However, the few books that did stick out to me, I talked about one this past week called 4-Hour Workweek. 4-Hour Workweek, it was just all about implementation of having an assistant, having an automated system, delegating, documenting, things of that sort. So one of my favorite books.
Yeah, one of our partners, actually, he always recommends that book to people that will ask him. That's one of the books he recommends. So for people like you who either don't have the time or don't feel like they need to read anymore currently, what I would recommend is the Pocket Network does have an extensive video library, just completely dedicated to book reviews, where not only do we pick up the book and summarize it for you, but we'll pick out very specific excerpts or quotes that you should either follow, live by, or that will just be purely motivational. So that's one benefit on the Pocket Network. So I'll plug that in right there.
Love it. That's good. Okay. That's valuable stuff.
Yeah, for sure. There's so many things that just watching them film the book reviews, I've learned. And I'm like, I'm not a real estate agent, but I feel like I would find value and apply that in so many other ways if I were to read that book. So what is your book about? Let's quickly share that. Cool. And then once you do release it, you just send us what the name is or where we can buy it from, so that we can make sure we share that with our followers too. Because just over the past hour, I feel like we've gotten so much useful information from you.
Good. I'm glad. So my book is called Real Estate Fame: How to Build a Personal Brand That Attracts Millions. Real estate fame is all about social media, personal branding for real estate professionals. So whether you're a lender, you're a realtor, this book will be helping you graduate your social media presence to what it deserves to be. Will help you grow your personal brand and help evolve it to make it more attractive and sexy and really appealing to your ideal audience. So that's really what the book is about in a nutshell.
And do you know about when it'll be out?
I don't know, because 7 months ago I said it'll be out, and here we are. See, my problem is I try to keep perfecting it, because I don't want to release a book that people are going to read it, pick up, and say, it could have been better. I don't want that at all. I want people to pick it up,
but leave room for volume 2. We want more.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
And then once you release it, we'll have a book review on your book.
Roger that. All right, sounds good.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I wish we could talk more, but I feel bad. It's already 11 p.m. in New Jersey. So thank you so much for all your time. Thank you for your expertise as well. I feel like we just got a free version of your Instagram series. So very useful. I think everyone at home watching also just in the past hour got a really quick glimpse of the value that you can add to their business if they were to sign up for the courses. Awesome. So thank you so much for that. We definitely want to have you back on, especially if I ever find someone who's anti-Instagram. Maybe we can have a debate on that.
Oh, that'll be cool. I'm in.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And for the viewers at home, like, comment, subscribe, share, do all of that. But most importantly, remember to implement everything that you just learned in this podcast and the books that you read. And keep in mind, change begins with you. Change begins at home.